What's up, guys? Shaun Andersen, current medical school applicant. I'm actually here in Reno, Nevada. It's the night before my first medical school interview. I thought I would just start making a video about it and hopefully film some stuff tomorrow. While I was, going through my whole application process, I thought some of the most helpful videos were those YouTubers that were in medical school and really get to show you kind of what the experience is like. And I was like, man, I'm doing some interviews. I'm sure some people in the future would love to see what it's like and what it's like to go through the interview. So it's pretty crazy. I feel like just the other day I was studying for the MCAT, and even before then doing your OCHEMs, and then all of last month I was doing secondaries, and before that you're doing your primary, and it's just all this stuff, and you're sitting there like, man, is it ever gonna be done? And then you start getting interviews and you're like, shoot, it's actually happening. At the time of this video, I currently have 6 interviews scheduled, or actually I have 5 interviews scheduled. I have one that I actually just got right before I started filming this, so I'm actually gonna have to go schedule that right after. But I just thought it'd be good to talk about kind of what it feels like to, go into my first interview. Pretty nervous, honestly. I did some research on it. So I'm actually here at University of Nevada, Reno. I'm from Nevada, so this is an in-state school for me. I did a little bit of research. They do the multiple mini interview. So for those of you guys that don't know, that's basically like, I think it's between like 9 and 12 stations of interviews, and you go to each door and you read like a prompt, or you read some sort of task you have to do, and then you go in the room and then you do it and you talk to an interviewer, and there's a different interviewer in each single room, and you have to appeal to them, and you have to do the task, or you have to and so it's a little bit nerve-wracking, but I guess a lot of schools are adopting this style of interview, so it's kind of good that I did my research. I actually read a pretty good book about it. I'll throw the link in the description for anyone who wants to read a book about multiple mini interviews. I'm actually going to probably make a whole separate video after this experience about the multiple mini interviews. Give you guys some info of what it's like, some tips and whatnot. I've been doing a lot of research the last few days just so I can be prepared, because I don't want to mess up my first interview. This is like the closest step I will actually be at. So it's pretty exciting, really excited. This school's a little bit different. They actually have 2 days for the interview, so it's like tomorrow's actually a welcome day. I'm not actually interviewing, but you want to give a good impression. I think we're doing like a tour and a couple other things, and then on Wednesday is the actual interview, the actual multiple mini interview. I'll give kind of my feelings throughout the whole thing, and things I noticed, things I learned. So yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. So I decided to come to the campus so I could find the building that the welcome day is at. I'm really glad I did, because it took me probably like 25 minutes just to find this building, mainly because I don't know the school or anything. So I definitely recommend the day before your interview, go find your building. Go find exactly where you have to park and the exact building you have to walk into, because this would have sucked if I had to go and do it like later, or like right before, like right when I was getting there, and I was like wasting all this time trying to get a parking pass and whatnot. It took a lot longer than I thought it would. So, but now I'm all good for the welcome day and for the interview day, and it's probably time to go back to my hotel and actually shower and get ready and try to look all nice for them. All right, back at the hotel room. Just finished another OCHEM video for the organic chemistry practice question series I'm working on. Welcome day starts in about 2 hours, maybe 3 hours. I'm definitely gonna get there like probably like 45 minutes early, just to make sure I'm like sitting in the lot and just right in front of the building ready to walk in. It's probably time to shower and put some nicer clothes on, so let's do it. And boom. All right, so today is business casual, which means probably just gonna go tie, collared shirt, slacks, but probably not a suit. Suit's gonna be for tomorrow. All right, so I am sitting outside the building. I think it's about 5 minutes until registration, and I've seen like a bunch of people go in already. So it's probably time for me to go in. Pretty excited. Today's just a welcome day, which is nice. So I have 6 interviews so far, and this is the only school that's doing like a welcome day, which I think is pretty cool. It probably take some of the nerves off, let us meet some other students. I
think we're gonna do like a lunch and like a tour of the campus, and I think we'll do like a meet and greet with the staff. So pretty chill day. Still gonna try to make a good impression. Probably socialize with other students. I mean, pretty much act yourself, like just act the way you would normally act in a situation where you're meeting a bunch of other like-minded people. So anyway, super excited. I'm gonna head in. All right, so it is about 6:30 now. I just got back to the hotel from my welcome day at the medical school. This is my first welcome day, first ever visiting a medical school orientation, kind of like them kind of just telling us about the school and their values, and a little bit of meet and greet with the faculty. And then they had some medical students there, and the medical students kind of guided. They really guided most of the welcome day. A lot of second-year medical students, and they conversed with all of us interviewees, and kind of giving us their thoughts on the school, the things they liked. The nice thing about students is they are pretty transparent about what they don't like, so they weren't afraid to kind of like let us know if there were things that they were huge fans of. But it was pretty cool. It was crazy to be in a room full of like other people who were kind of like at the same level as you are, because normally, you know, when you're taking your pre-med classes, you're like, oh yeah, like I'm getting A's in all these things, or maybe you're just doing well and you're like, oh yeah, you know, I got this. And then you're in a room full of a bunch of people that are just really smart, and you can tell they're all really smart because they all got interviews just like you did. And the imposter syndrome hits, but everyone has imposter syndrome, so not even worrying about it. But it was pretty cool. I will say I really like the school. This is going to be my first interview tomorrow. But this definitely set a really good baseline for what I'll be looking for in maybe other schools when I interview. They did a really good job of letting the students take a lot of charge, really showing that they had a lot of student involvement, and letting the students decide on a lot of factors and a lot of things going into the school. I think one of the coolest things that was very well talked about during the entire welcome session was they have a student-run clinic at the school. So the students, right in their first semester of medical school, first-year students, they are allowed to put in hours at this clinic and see patients and work with patients, which I think that's an experience that I'm really going to enjoy. I think a lot of the students expressed that it really reminded them, while they were constantly having to study, why they wanted to go into medicine. Because, you know, if you're spending 2 years studying in medical school, not seeing a single patient, but you're just, you know, it's you in a book or it's you in your laptop for 2 years, you can kind of forget why you wanted to go to medicine. So I really like that. I think now whenever I interview at a school, I think having a student-run clinic is going to be on my, like, you know, high list of priorities when I'm deciding, you know, is this a school that's a good fit for me? Or maybe if I get multiple acceptances, you know, cross my fingers. If you know, I'll be happy if I get one acceptance. But, you know, if you were to get multiple acceptances, I'd be probably more willing to pick the one that has a student-run clinic, just after how passionate the students were. So I was really happy that the students were so involved. It was really cool. I really liked it. The faculty was super nice. I really could see myself going here, and maybe I'm just biased because my first welcome day, my first interview. Also, it was kind of cool. I mingled with a lot of medical students, and it kind of reminded me, it's a good point to make sure you stay social. Like, you know, I know we're a bunch of us there competing for the same seats, but I thought it was so fun to be able to talk to some of the other students, hear where they're from, their backgrounds, their you know, why they went into medicine, why they're all here, because they're all just like us. They're all just like you. Regardless of what happens tomorrow, I'm just grateful for the chance to interview, to be at this point in the application. So yeah, I'm just gonna relax for the rest of the night, not really stress too much, eat some good food, watch some YouTube case scenarios from multiple mini interviews, but really just try to relax. I don't really think there's a best way to prepare. I think I just gotta be myself tomorrow, and whatever happens, you know? I'm just happy to be here. All right, so it is about half an hour before the multiple mini interview starts. Got here super early just because I'm neurotic, but I feel like all med school applicants are. Pretty nervous. This is actually this is the big part. So yesterday was the welcome day, you know, nothing too scary. You kind of just meet everyone. But today's the multiple mini interview. So I'm probably going to actually make a video on that, about like kind of what it is, some of the tools that I use to kind of prepare for it. But basically we're going to go to like I think it's 8 to 10 different stations, and there's like a different person in each station, and they're an interviewer, and they are trained to interview medical students or medical interviewees. and it could be a scenario. So there could be like a prompt on the door that tells me, you know, like this issue's happening, and then I have to go in and explain kind of my take on it. I'm nervous. I'm pretty nervous. This is kind of a hard first interview in my opinion. Multiple mini interview I think is a hard first interview to have, but I think it'll help prepare me for future interviews. I really like this school. I know I'm a little bit biased because it's my first interview, but I really liked the welcome day yesterday. I thought it was so much fun. I really liked what the school stood for and kind of the vibe they gave off. But yeah, I'm just gonna kind of hope for the best, see what happens. You know, I think as long as I go in there and I'm, you know, I act like myself and I really think throughout the multiple mini interview, stay objective, but also take a good stance on things, I think it's gonna be okay. Regardless of what happens, I'm pretty stoked to be here. Kind of like I said earlier, or a few days ago, it's scary to go through the whole application process, and you know, doing everything leading up to the interview really sucks. But then getting the interview is just it's like a whole different story, a whole different ball game, and it feels good. You know, regardless of what happens, it feels good, and I know this will prepare me for future interviews, you know, good or bad. So I'm excited. I will definitely give you guys my impressions after. So. All right, wish me luck. So the interview is done. I'm just getting out of the bathroom right now. I'm actually about to go grab dinner with a bunch of the applicants. Super nice people. Get to know the other med students, even though you guys are technically applying against each other. Get to know each other. They're all super nice. They're all super smart. It's a good time. We're about to grab dinner with them, and then I'm gonna head to the airport later. After I get dressed, or I guess undressed, I will definitely give my thoughts on the multiple mini interview and kind of how it was, so stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Aishwarya. I interviewed with Shaun right now. And
hello.
We're on our way back. We just finished our MMI. How'd you feel about that?
It was pretty nuts. It was pretty much as scary as I thought it was gonna be, but I will say it was more fun than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, the 90 minutes flew by. I feel like it was a blur.
Yeah, every station, at least for our interview, was 7 minutes apiece. But like those 7 minutes go by so fast. Like you're talking, and then it's just done. Like you don't even, like you almost want more time. You like wish you have more time.
Yeah, there's like a 1 minute buzzer right before, so they give you a little bit of leeway, but you actually don't know how much time you have. Kind of. There's no clock.
No.
So it's more of a guessing game. But
yeah, how do you feel like you did?
I think the acting stations were a little tricky.
Oh yeah.
Because they actually have real actors there.
Yeah, and the actors they're good actors, guys. Like if you guys have those kinds of stations where you know you're gonna have actors, they are good. Like
yeah.
They stay in character and they are strong. Like they stick to their character. It is
definitely tough. It's so hard to break through, but you try your best, and I think that was good. I don't know, how did you feel about the teamwork station?
Yeah, it was good. So in our MMI there was a station where we had to work with some of the other applicants and do like a teamwork activity. And they want to see how you do on teamwork and like how like can you work together with someone else and like, you know, communication skills and all that. It was fun. I thought it was fun, but it's one of those things where you go back and you're like, man, I could have totally told them to do this and it would have made way more sense. Stuff like that. I don't know, what do you think? So there were a bunch of geometric shapes, so I totally forgot like what a rhombus was.
This guy was like, they're like, just take this or something, and it's just so funny. But I think overall, I think it was a good challenge, I guess, because you had to really be able to describe how to do things where we're not really used to describing things, you know?
Yeah, I think that was the hardest part, is you have to really, because you don't know the prompts until you walk in the room. You have no idea. And then you have like a minute to read the prompt, and you really have to know, you have to decide your position, decide your stance, decide how you're going to approach it within a minute, and then you have to talk about it for 7. And I think that was...
Yeah, and keeping composure was really challenging, but I think we did fine.
I think we did okay too. Yeah. All of our all the people that interviewed like in our group, I think they all did really well. Everyone actually walked out smiling. Yeah. Which was, I think, the weirdest thing. Like usually when you walk out like an exam, it looks like someone died or something. But like everyone walked out of the interview rooms like at the very end of all of them, just like smiling and like talking, and like everyone was way more social than they were before. Yeah, before the interview was drop dead silence. It was so, like a pin you could quiet, hear. Yeah. And yeah, everyone was having these awkward conversations right before the interview. Yeah, and then afterwards everyone was like almost laughing and talking. Yeah. just very unexpected, but it was so cool. So cool. So now we are picking up her stuff and my stuff, and then we have to go to the airport. So we're gonna call an Uber. All right, so I'm at the airport right now. All in all, I thought the interview was great. I thought it was so much fun, such a good experience. There's not a lot I would do differently, honestly. I think I did as best as I could, and you know, I hope to get into this school. If not, I have some other interviews, and I think this will help prepare me for the other interviews. So I'm about to get on my flight in a little bit. I think I'm gonna edit this vlog while I wait. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope this kind of helped you guys see what the interview experience was like, and hopefully some of you guys watching will eventually have your own medical school interviews yourselves. So I'm about to go through security, so I will see you guys later.